Hello everyone, Just Podcast TV is here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified on new contents.
Episode 299. He was ready to move. When Kate saw Zach, her eyes were filled with surprise. She quickly went down the stairs and prepared to wake him up. But at this moment, Madison, who came out of the kitchen, stopped her. Now that Kate had understood Madison's true identity, she had special respect for Madison, who had always been protecting her. "What's wrong, Madison?" Madison brought Kate into the kitchen and then said, "Zach is quite tired. He only came home at 3 in the morning and has not slept for more than 4 hours. Let him rest for a while longer." Only now did Kate understand the reason why Madison stopped her, and her face was filled with embarrassment. She only cared about her surprise, but did not think that Zach would definitely not go back to his room to sleep because he came back too late. After that, Madison said, "Maybe there are some things that I am not suitable as a servant to say, but he is really much more tired than you think. Just like what is said on the internet, where can the peace of time come from? It's just that someone is carrying your weight. The matters of the big families are very tiring." Kate nodded and then held Madison's hand. "Madison, you are Zach's elder sister and are also my elder sister. We are not servants. You will always be our elder sister. Thank you for telling me all this. I will take good care of him and share this burden." Madison smiled. It was precisely because she knew Kate was a kind and virtuous woman that she would say these things. If it was an insensible woman, not to mention that she did not know how to say it, she would not even know how to serve. After all, the old fox had already promised her that she could leave at any time and did not need to work for the Marquez family. The reason why she stayed was because of Zach, her younger brother, and Kate, the easy to get along with and kind sister-in-law. These two people were really quite good. Madison felt the same way when she lived with them. After leaving the kitchen, Kate quietly came in front of Zach. Looking at the tightly knitted brows of Zach in his sleep, she knew that Zach did not know why he was worrying about things in his dream again. They all thought that money was omnipotent. Money was bliss. According to this theory, Zach should be very happy. But how happy would a man who would frown only in his dreams be in his heart? Lowering her head, Kate gently kissed Zach on the cheek and said in a low voice, "I will be your woman." Kate did not wake Zach up. She went upstairs to wash up and put on her clothes. After breakfast, she went to work. The first thing she did when she entered the company was to quickly take care of the business at hand. After she was done with her work, she brought over the information about the automotive company that they were working with. Under the circumstances that she could do her best, she wanted to help Zach by sharing more of the burden. After all, that was her man. When Zach woke up, it was already past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was rare for someone to sleep for 10 hours. It was rare for someone to sleep so greedily. After preparing lunch, Madison told Zach about what happened in the morning. "You won't blame me for talking too much, will you?" Zach smiled. "How could that be? You are my sister. You said that because you feel sorry for me." Madison also smiled and picked up a piece of meat for Zach. The two of them chatted as they ate. After eating and chatting, Zach washed up and changed his clothes before heading to the company. After meeting Lewis and Larry and talking about some work matters, Zach went to find Kate's office. At this time, Kate was studying cars. She did not know much about cars, so if she wanted to understand the business of the car company, she could only start from the car power system, hanging system, hardware system, and other aspects to learn bit by bit. Without a teacher, the computer was her best teacher. She was following the picture-in-picture to read and write. After Zach entered the office, he saw Kate staring at the movie without blinking. He smiled and asked, "You're so serious. Kate, you can't be watching a movie that two people act in, right?" When she heard Zach's voice, Kate's face immediately revealed a look of joy. She got up and came to Zach. She put her arms around Zach's neck and said, "Why don't you rest at home for a few more days? You just came back in the morning And get ran over again? Zach kissed her doubtingly. This is because you are here. If you are at home, I promise I will not come. Kate's heart was very warm. Every minute and every second, every word that Zach said would inadvertently warm her heart. This kind of feeling was something that no one could give. She felt really comfortable. But thinking about herself, other than her body and heart, it seemed like she could not give anything to Zach. This made Kate feel very guilty. Hubby, my executive vice president is not good at my job. In terms of financial ability, it is not as good as Larry. In terms of market and control, it is not as good as Larry. You even have to talk to him about the car. You are already so tired, but I can't help you. Why don't I come down? I will take care of you at home and let Larry be the executive vice president. Zach hugged Kate's charming little body. Are you willing to? The company was developed from your company. It was your hard work. Furthermore, you don't like to stay at home. You prefer the company's atmosphere and the environment. Kate nodded. Yes, but my favorite. It's still you. I don't want to see you get too tired. I want to take care of you. Rubbing Kate's smooth hair, Zach asked, Kate, do you want to retire first or Larry? Kate replied, Of course it will be Larry. He is much older than me. There is no need to ask. Zach replied, That's fine. You might not be able to do it now. Your abilities are not as good as his. It's just that you did not encounter any major problems. If you really encounter a big problem, I believe you'll be even more outstanding than him. Besides, if you really withdraw now, Larry will retire in 10 or 20 years. Who am I going to find to take over my shift? Don't tell me I am going to nurture another one. The most important thing is that you are my wife. Although we are not married yet, we can register at any time. You have the final say at this time. Now that you have so many reasons, if I don't hand the company over to my wife, who should I hand it over to? Zach's words made Kate really at a loss of words, especially the promise that Zach gave her that she could register at any time. It made her very touched. She knew that Zach had many women. At least she knew Xena and the former Tess. There would definitely be other women outside, but no matter what, Zach always placed her at the top of his heart. This made Kate feel a little regretful. Along with this kind of attention, it gradually disappeared. Leaning against Zach's embrace, Kate tightly hugged Zach. Hubby, you are really good to me. She had a lot of things to say. She wanted to say that a year ago, she was still a little boss who was worried about $6 million. But today, she had become the leader of a $10 billion company. She wanted to say that she was most afraid of loneliness. But now, she had so much warmth. There were many things she wanted to say, but when she was about to say them, she only said, You're really good. Because Zach was really very good. If there was really a next life, she would beg the heavens to let her meet Zach as soon as possible. No matter whether Zach was a beggar or a patient in the next life, she was willing to be with Zach and continue to have fate with him forever.
Are you sure?
Episode 300. That doesn't make sense. The Dream Group has to move. After all, it was already a company worth $10 billion. This place was a little cramped right now. Fortunately, Larry had considered this last year and had asked Zach to buy that piece of land. Larry was also an awesome person. He had already planned to start building on the land when he got it. Now, the company needed to expand, and a new building had been erected there. Everything had been tidied up, and he could only wait for the chairman to nod and move. Thinking of the land that was still in ruins a year ago, Zach gave Larry a thumbs up. Amazing, really fast. Larry smiled and said, As long as you have money, there is nothing you can't do quickly. This was the truth. There was no need to save money. As long as the construction fees, materials, and other expenses were paid in time, everything would be done very quickly. Zach asked again, how are the preparations for the move going? Larry nodded. It's all packed up, and you can be absolutely at ease about this. It was Donovan who made it. Donovan is starting to learn how to do business now. During the new year, he chatted with me on the plane and heard that they were going to get rid of the excess. The profits were not bad, so he set up his own company to get rid of the excess and took over our business. I heard that they're doing pretty well now, especially after we got this big job. We made a name for his new company. Many units and individual investors went to his company. They only worked for a few months, and they made a small profit of $1 million. Zach was very happy. Donovan was not bad. He actually found his own way to make money. He even started his own business. This was pretty good. It was much better than him continuing to stir up bars and nightclubs. At least, this was something that he could see for himself. After chatting with Larry about the relocation, Zach returned to Kate's office. Larry should have reported to you that our company is about to move, Zach said. Yes, Larry told me that it is tentatively scheduled for the beginning of the next month. You have to make the decision. If you have any objections, the headquarters can immediately make preparations. Also, I have already made plans. We will move up the stairs and split into 3 groups, separated by A, B, and C. Group A will start setting things up and getting the ball rolling, while Group B and C will stay behind and work. Then, we will slowly send Group B, and then finally Group C. We won't leave everything here behind either. This place will become a branch company. We'll take on some small profit businesses and so on. After all, it was all the support from our old clients that allowed us to develop steadily. Now that we've done something big, we'll get rid of them? It's not appropriate. Besides, although the profit is small, it's not bad to give out benefits to the employees of the branch company. The general nature, let's just treat it as a nursing home. Those who are about to retire can come here to work. Zach nodded. Not bad. You have thought it through. Then let's do as you said. Zach was not saying good things to make Kate happy. This was indeed very good. The division of labor was clear and organized, and it did not delay the work. However, what Zach wanted to talk about was not this matter, but a different matter. What I specifically want to talk about is not the relocation of our group's headquarters, but the relocation of our family. As an executive vice president, you definitely can't stay here and retire. You have to lead the team to the new company building. When that happens, where will we stay? We can't stay in the company's dormitory, right? So, I want to take advantage of the fact that I have nothing to do these 2 days and follow you to the provincial capital and settle down in our house. After hearing Zach's words, Kate was very happy. She was not happy to buy the house itself, but she was happy that Zach was thinking about their house. She had thought about it before. If Zach didn't say it, she would rent the house first, then slowly find a suitable source of housing. It would be a surprise for Zach, so that when Zach was tired, he could have a warm home to rest in. But she didn't expect that Zach would take the initiative to bring it up today. Obviously, Zach cared about her very much, and his family that he had. Therefore, without any hesitation, she readily agreed to this matter. That afternoon after work, Zach called Madison to tell her that he was not staying at home for the next 2 days, and that he would bring Kate out for a while. Of course, Madison did not have any objections. In fact, in many aspects, her personal ability was not necessarily stronger than Zach. After all, Zach was trained by Mason, and his means were very powerful. The key was, Zach was cunning. They were all martial artists who did not use their brains. That was nonsense. If they had a smart brain, they would be able to earn dozens of times more. When she fought with others face to face, she hated that their abilities were similar to hers. But they were sinister, because if she fought with this kind of person, there was no telling whether she would end up in a pit. If she was also not careful, she would be trapped in it. It was not that she had never fought with Zach before. Zach was a Scrooge. Not only was he strong in combat, he was very smart in how he positioned himself. He was capable of being kind and caring with all these people around him, and at any moment, he could lead any betrayer into his trap. Even in a position where his only weapon is a toilet cleaner, Zack would easily win the fight. Therefore, she was also very assured about Zack and Kate's departure. That night, Zack drove his QZL5 and drove Kate to the Capitol. In 3 hours, they did not delay for dinner. After dinner, the two of them got into the hotel and parked the car in front of the hotel. Then, they started to walk again. "Hubby, you're so tired. You don't have to specifically accompany me." Kate really felt sorry for Zack. She did not want him to tire himself out, even more because of her. However, Zack insisted. "How can I do that? I have been with you for a year. I have not accompanied you to walk the streets and shop once. I just came to the Capitol tonight. I'll accompany you for a stroll. I'll help you carry your bags tonight, and I'll pay the bill for you. You just need to buy it yourself." Zack kissed her on the cheek. Kate was so happy, as if she had fallen deeper in love. But thinking about it carefully, every day when she was with Zack, she felt that it was like when she had just fallen in love. It was very sweet.